All right, hello everybody. You're listening to Mark Ling, and on this webinar, due to popular demand, as you'll probably be aware, free traffic strategies, and I'll teach you some free ones and some paid ones, they require more of your time. Okay? Nothing's truly free as such. It's free, but it takes more of your time. Paid traffic strategies are faster, but they might lose you money at the start while you make mistakes while you're learning. When I first started with paid traffic, I spent about $50 and I lost it straight away. And then I gave up and didn't try it again for 6 months. Then I tried again with $150 and I lost that straight away too. And I gave up and didn't try again for 2 more months. Then I got some training and I spent about $1,000 and I lost about another 200 or 300 before I started making money, and then after that, bam, I was making great money from paid traffic. Most people I see doing paid traffic, they don't make money with their first, maybe even up to $500 that they've spent. That's the nature of it. So don't get into paid traffic if you don't have money to lose, because you do wind up losing a little bit of money while you're learning. It's part of your education, okay? In paid traffic. Sometimes you experiment with things that don't work, but then you find stuff that is working and you spend more money on that traffic. Now with free traffic, it's a bit less risk. You're just risking your time, which is still valuable, but it may or may not hurt you in the same way that paid traffic would if you can't afford it. Okay. When I first started, it was all about spending more time. I couldn't afford any paid traffic. But then when I was making money, I started doing more paid traffic stuff. All right. So the key with any traffic strategy, though, is to learn by doing. Nothing beats experience at all. I could show you everything step by step, and it does not beat getting out there and doing it yourself. Everybody uncovers different hurdles or different little things that go on, and they learn by experience and doing and overcoming little stubborn little areas that need working on. That I can never predict what different people mistakes or whatever might be, and you might not make any mistakes. So there's always some people that just succeed from the very first dollar they spend on paid advertising, or very first minute just about that they spend on doing stuff. But if you're like most people, you'll make a few mistakes along the way. That's normal. But I find the ready, fire, aim approach works so much better than spending way too much time aiming and not enough time firing, because you learn so much stuff from actually just doing and getting out there. Like if you imagine the scenario of you've got two people that have got machine guns, say. One person spends 10 seconds lining up their shot at the other person, and the other person with the machine gun just starts firing, and he misses, but he's going to hit that other person in less than 10 seconds, because if you fire early and just use your firing shots to get your aim, you'll get your result a lot faster. Okay, does that make sense to people? Say yes again in the Q&A box if what I've said so far makes sense. Okay, cool, awesome. Peter, Scott, Tony, John, Carmen, Sarah, everyone's typing yes. Great. Hundreds of yeses. I'm going to start with solo ads first, and then I'm going to get into other forms of traffic. I'm going to start with a form of paid traffic first, because this is one of my favorite ones. It works really, really well. A solo ad is when you pay to send a mail out to somebody else's list of email subscribers. Okay? So it's different than paying to advertise within someone's newsletter. It's different than that, in that if you pay to advertise in someone's newsletter, you've got their normal newsletter and you might have 2 or 3 lines of text that link to your offer. Whereas a solo ad is where the entire email, or 95% of that email, was written by you. Okay, the only focus is on sending traffic to you in that email. Okay, so they work a lot better. I rarely find that email ads work. I find solo ads where the entire email is written, designed to just for one purpose, to send traffic to your website. That works better. Now, first of all, say yes if you are on this webinar because you got an email from somebody, whether it was from me or somebody else. Okay? All right, I'm getting a lot of yeses. Okay, great. So you can obviously see the power of email marketing. All right? Almost, there may have been the occasional person that saw a banner ad to get here, but I would say 99% of you came from email marketing here because of it. Okay, so it's hugely powerful. So, and I find that being able to pay to send out a solo ad to other people's lists it's fantastic. It not only makes a lot of money, but it's a great way to build up subscribers to a mailing list really fast. Like if I send them to an opt-in page. Okay, the great thing about solo ads is you can use them to build up your list really quickly, depending on the size of the list. I mean, if you mail a solo list where you're only spending something like $50, then you might find that you only end up getting a small number of clicks and subscribers out of it. Okay, solo ads, it costs money like anything. So you might spend $50, you might get, say, let's say $50 you spend might get you 70 clicks, and of those 70 clicks, 35 of them might opt into your list. So you've got 35 new people on your list. But imagine from those 35 people, you're now making, say, somewhere between $1 and $2 a month. So month in, month out, you will have made way more than double your money back over time. Okay, it's a really good way to build your list. I mean, some people opt for bigger spends. Sometimes I spend over $10,000 a month. I spend at least $8,000 anyway per month on buying solo ads, and I'll end up getting more than 10,000 new subscribers per month from those solo ads, which in turn turns into an extra $10,000 a month in income from those subscribers. Like the first month I might break even, but the second month, third month, fourth month, it's like, whoa, that's all this huge amounts of profit are being made now thanks to getting that initial spend. Can you guys see the value in that? Is this exciting, or does this sound off-putting because it costs money? I'd like to know. Just type in the Q&A box. Okay, exciting, exciting, exciting. Yes, this is great. Exciting but scary, says Jim. Some people are saying it's too much money, but most people are saying it's great. Like, I understand, for some of you guys, it is too much money, and you know what? I've got free traffic strategies I'm going to teach on this webinar too. It's not the only strategy, but it's a very good one, especially if you want to build up a list really, really fast. Okay, because once you've got a mailing list, you can do other things, like you can trade mailings with other people. Heck, instead of paying $50 for that mailing to that other person, you can just say, hey, look, how about you just mail me your entire list and I'll mail my entire list to your free thing, and bam, we've both built up our subscriber bases. You can do other things once you've built a list, and it's a fast way of doing it. So it'll cost anywhere from 30 cents to $2 per click. Usually I opt for buying through people where it's between 30 and 70 cents a click. Sometimes I'll go to $1 a click if I know it's a really, really good quality of traffic. Okay. If they're not charging per click, then you need to ask them how many clicks they usually get on a standard email, and then just work that out. Some solo ad vendors are better than others because of how they treat their lists and whether they get new subscribers regularly or whether they just have an old list that they're constantly mailing to. Okay, so you want to ask any solo ad vendor, like, how are they replenishing their list, and is it, how many new subscribers they're getting regularly, or is this an old list? Okay, it's an important question to ask them. Tip number 1, know your numbers. Write these down, by the way. Know your numbers. Repeat buy monthly from anyone you're successful with. So if you make money from somebody, or even if you break even because within the first 20 days of them opting into your sequence, you know it's profit after that. So I would repeat. I always repeat buy monthly from anyone that I know I'm successful with, because as long as they're replenishing their list, it works out to be a really good thing. I vary up my landing pages that I send people to get people on the list, but if you found someone that's good, sends you traffic that makes you money, keep buying from them until that traffic stops making you money. Okay, so tip 1, repeat bi-monthly. Tip 2, get good at writing swipe copy. So write for the person who is most likely to opt in when they get there, and not for maximum opens and clicks. That's an important tip. Write that down. Write for the person who is most likely to opt in. Okay? Now, there's a big distinction between writing for someone who's most likely to opt into your list than writing for maximum opens. If I wanted to get the most people opening one of my emails, then I'd say something like, my subject line would say something like, "Holy crap!" exclamation mark. That would be the subject line. And I would get 3 times as many people opening my email than what normally open an email, because people aren't used to getting an email from me that says, "Holy crap." And you know what? You could do that, but the problem is you'll get a lot of opens, but you're getting the wrong people opening the emails, and they're invariably going to be disappointed with whatever you say, thanks to a subject line like that. If your opt-in page, let's say your opt-in page is giving away a free report on how to stop the top 7 most common behavioral problems for dogs. Let's say it's a dog training. Let's say you're mailing an animal training list, say, or a dog training list, let's say. All right? Or even a pet care list or a dog enthusiast list. Let's say it's a dog enthusiasts list. You're paying for a mailing to this list, and your free report is something that's on how to stop the 7 most common dog behavioral problems. All right? So if that is the case, then don't have a subject line like "holy crap." Don't have a subject line like that is not relevant to your report in any way. Make sure your subject line is in line with your report. Okay? So I would have a subject line like how to stop dog behavior problems, or it might even be free report, 7 top dog behavior problems solved, or something along those lines. It may not get the maximum open rates, although it might, but it is totally in line with what you're going to be pitching them, so to speak. And then within the email itself, make sure that the copy and the links drives people in that way. Like, as in, the anchor text of the link should say something along the lines of go here to get your free report, and then colon, then the link might say the top 7 dog behavioral problems solved. Okay, make sure that everything is in line, because then when they get to your page, those people arriving at your page are the people that actually wanted what you had to offer there. Okay, because if you don't get relevant with people, and you send the maximum number of clicks there, you're not going to get the right people on your list. I see people do this all the time. All they focus on is clicks and opens and clicks, and it's like, no, you want to get the right people on your list, the people that are going to make you the most money. All right, I would rather get 500 opt-ins from the right people than 10,000 opt-ins from the wrong people. All right, can you understand that? Is this making sense? Okay, I'm getting a bunch of yeses. Okay, cool. All right. Now, make sure you get on their list too, even if you're only on it for a week, just so you know what they're used to receiving, the tone of the emails, the frequency of their emails, and whether or not one of their subscribers is actually likely to be interested in what you're offering. All right? Now, finding solo ad providers, it's a little bit of detective work. There's no great directory that I recommend. There are directories out there, but I actually find that they are not the best places to go usually for finding them. Usually there are providers out there when you look within your niche. What I do is I'll get out there and start typing in different keywords into Google, for instance, or other search engines. So I'll start finding even products that are for sale in my niche. Look for newsletter opt-in boxes. Okay, look for sites that have newsletter opt-in boxes, and then go ahead and send them an email to find out if they offer solo ad purchases, and if not, would they be willing to experiment with offering you one? And you show them what you're wanting to promote, and if they don't get back to you, then make them an offer. Like I would say, if a starting offer around 60 cents a click, and then see what happens from there. Okay, so quite often the best ones that I find are found from these cold calling type scenarios. But then what happens is you get to know people, and then they wind up telling you about other sources of traffic or other places you can buy from, and then it sort of snowballs out from there. All right, so it is a bit of detective work, but it's really good. It works very, very well. Okay, so one big solo ad key is having an opt-in page with a free gift and a strong follow-up autoresponder sequence. One thing is you should be buying traffic, solo ad traffic. Just being demographically relevant is can work rather well. Like sometimes, quite regularly, I will send traffic to, say, a squeeze page that I've set up for the dating niche. All right, so I have an opt-in page in the dating niche where I'm giving away a free report on, say, 7 ways to make them love you forever, and I might have bought a solo ad from a list that's to do with horoscopes, say. So you might think, well, what's that got to do with that? Well, the fact is, with horoscopes, you might find that 70% of those people are women, and 70% of them are from the USA, and they're aged 40 plus, and that's the exact target market that you want for dating as well. It probably would work with weight loss also. So with big, wide niches, if you happen to be in a big, wide niche, then sometimes just targeting demographically relevant traffic solo lists can work rather well too. I know people in the survivalist niche quite often buy solo ads from political blogs, because they know that people that buy survivalist type products are usually aged 50 plus, and they're usually the type of people that read political blogs and are on political type newsletters and so forth. Okay, so that's kind of interesting. So I'm not going to go over this in detail right this second, because I covered this in the last webinar, but essentially when you're buying solo ads, you're just sending potential prospects to an opt-in or a squeeze page. You're putting them into your autoresponder sequence that gets monetized with great offers that convert well, and at the same time has some content-based emails in there that keep prospects really happy as well. And then you take the money that you're making and you put some of it in your wallet, and some of it goes into either building more squeeze pages and money magnets, or into buying more traffic and sending it back through into your system so that you can grow the snowball into something really big. Okay, now before I get on to the next traffic strategy, everything making sense so far? Been taking good notes, guys?